Welcome to what's going to be a truly epic French adventure. Today, we're embarking on a massive 750-mile journey across France, entirely by bus and train, all the way to the sunny shores of Nice on the Côte d'Azur. It's going to take about 13 hours, but we're going to see so much of France along the way. We'll be breaking down all the costs for you and giving you our tips so you know exactly what to expect. I'm David, and I'm standing right here on the historic D-Day beaches of Bernières-sur-Mer in Normandy. Check out our Normandy video to see our experience here. We're starting off on our next day of our trip. It's a full one. We're about to take the bus, then we will take the train back to Paris, switch to the subway to another station in Paris, and then hop on a 6-hour train journey crossing almost 600 miles to reach Nice at about 10 o'clock tonight. It'll then be another tram ride or potentially Uber, depending how exhausted we feel. Our first leg, a short bus ride from Bernières-sur-Mer to Caen, was actually captured in reverse the day before. It's a convenient local connection that seamlessly links these smaller towns to the main train lines. But before we get on our 2-hour train journey to Paris, let's grab some lunch. All right, we have the loot. It's time to head back into Caen station and find our platform. Now you know you're in France when you're eating battered camembert. Wow, it's actually really good. Really good. All right, here we are at Gare de Lyon. We have eaten most of our lunch. Now we're heading into the subway, underneath the train lines, and up to our platform, platform G. So here comes our train. That'll take us back to Paris. Amazing, eh? So there's upstairs seats again, but I think today we're in downstairs seats. We're in car number 3. And what's helpful is they actually tell you what zone you need to board in. So there's a T up here. You can also put your bicycles on board. So we are downstairs, Grace, and seats 13, 17 and 18. Now on our trip to Normandy on the train, we sat upstairs in the top level of the 2-level, but there's actually a few seats that are kind of in between floors, and I don't remember if I chose these online or if I was assigned these, but we've been assigned to this space over here, which, as you can see, it's separated with these panels. It's almost like having your own separate area, a little bit like your own suite, especially if there's 3 or 4 of you traveling. What I really like is up here, it actually tells you where the train has been booked from and to. So for us, it says Caen all the way to Paris Saint-Lazare, where we're getting off the train. Whereas for others, it might say a different station where they may have gotten on. Again, these carriages can be quite confusing. Remember, you're wanting to look for the digital carriage number. There was a woman sitting in our seats when we first got on, and we had to try and show her, with us having no French and her having no English, that she was actually sitting in the wrong seats. It's nice having this little area to yourself, separated a little from the other seats that you can see down there. The only problem I would say with these particular seats is that there wasn't enough space for baggage. So our bags are all the way down the other end of the carriage. Time for the bathroom tour on this train bound for Paris. It's actually incredibly spacious in here. Not the cleanest, but you've got your automated water, soap and drying options, and the toilets are not bad. Very spacious. We have made it off the train. We're back in Paris at Saint-Lazare station, and now we're going to race across town using the subway. We've got 4 stops on there. If I've calculated correctly, we should have exactly 1 more subway trip left on our existing subway cards. Then we hop on our 6-hour train journey south to Nice. Straight through. All right. That's the wrong M, but that's another M. We're not going to McDonald's over there. We're going to the subway over there. Arriving at Paris Saint-Lazare, we had our biggest logistical challenge, navigating the Paris metro with all our bags to get to Gare de Lyon for our onward train to Nice. And here it comes. Now we're heading into Gare de Lyon, the actual train station. We're all still here, I think, and it's chaos here. It's very, very busy. Our train tickets say that we're best boarding at Hall 3, so that's where we're heading now. So over here, I guess. And you can see the train departures up here and see where to go exactly. 409, that's us there. Hall 3, that's all it says so far. When it's time for you to board, your letter will come up on the TV screen and then all chaos ensues. There's no queuing, so everyone just rushes to try and get through onto the platform. So we have been called to gate G over here. Now, they only issue tickets for these long journeys 4 days in advance, so I only have electronic screenshots of my tickets, so hopefully that'll be sufficient for us to get through. Alright, so this train is absolutely massive. We are in coach 14 and there's at least 18 carriages in the train. Here we're out to 15. Tells you the numbers on the side of the train here, which is a little bit easier than the train to Caen. Now, what's special about this is operated by Ouigo, alright, O-U-I as in the French for yes, go. And it's like the budget airline version of the train, so we'll see how different it is. Alright, we're up the stairs, we're looking for whatever numbers I told you. 403, 404. This way, Grace. Is that right?
C'est pas moi, c'est ton père, il écoute rien.
Well, this looks like the wrong carriage to me. So this can be a little bit confusing. We made it onto the train. Mum's doing her Head and Shoulders advert for us right there. That's right. So we're upstairs again, which should give us some amazing views for 6 hours of the countryside. And we're on our way. So we have a 6-hour train journey, over 600 miles. What I really love about this is that it only costs us 98 euros all the way to Nice. Now, it is kind of like the budget airline version of a train, so that's why it was so cheap. But that means that you have to pay extra for internet, which we didn't have to on our train to Caen and back. It means I can't see any USB plugs or anything like that here, but there is plenty of legroom. We've got a big table, we've got seats that have a table. It's got air conditioning, got a blind you can bring down. We've got lots of supermarket food. Hold that up, Grace. We've got our bags of chips and we've got our card games. So should be all good for the next 6 hours, traveling over 600 miles. The journey takes you through literally the heart of France, offering a constantly changing panorama. From the rolling hills of Burgundy to the lavender fields of Provence, every mile reveals a new landscape. These trains are incredibly fast, often reaching speeds of 300 kilometers an hour. It's an engineering marvel and a really relaxing way to cover huge distances. Alright, if you've ever wanted to go to the toilet doing over 200 kilometers an hour or 120 miles an hour, this is the place to do it. It's pretty grotty after this amount of time of the train. You look at the toilet paper here, pretty disgusting toilet down there, very loud blowing air dryer over here, and you've got your options here for water. But you have to press down on the floor, which is something they love here in France, to get water up here. I've actually seen this at the Opera Bastille the other day as well, that you have to use your foot down on the floor if you want to get water out of the tap over here. We have covered 2/3 or 3/4 of the way to our destination in just the first 2 hours, so presumably the second part of the journey is a lot slower. Here we are, passing through Marseille. You can really feel the Mediterranean vibe kicking in now. It's a bustling port city and a major hub for the south of France. So we've covered the first 800 kilometers of this trip in just 3 hours, averaging over 250 kilometers an hour. But we're now going at a snail's pace. My watch says we still have 2.5 hours of travel to go. But we only have about 100 kilometers, so perhaps we're supposed to go at this speed for the remainder of the trip. Downtown Marseille.
Looks a bit rough.
Beyond Marseille, the landscape truly transforms, becoming rockier, more rugged, and distinctly Mediterranean as we hug the coastline towards Nice. Arriving in Nice was quite the experience. Much like Paris, the main train station was incredibly busy and felt quite dodgy. So with all our bags, our priority was safety and security. Once again, the camera stayed firmly in the bag. We quickly found the tram stop, a really efficient way to get around Nice. And it was just a few stops to our hotel, although it did involve one transfer station. Now waking up the next morning in our hotel room, this was our reward. Be sure to check out our hotel review on this hotel that's coming out soon. But look at that view. The journey was long, but moments like this make every minute worth it. It's incredible to think that just yesterday morning we were looking at the English Channel and now we're gazing out over the azure waters of the Mediterranean. Alright, let's talk dollars because we promised to break down the costs for our D-Day to Côte d'Azur adventure. Travel costs included the bus, train to Paris, metro to Gare de Lyon, Ouigo train to Nice, and then the tram to our hotel. The bus was around €2.34 per person for a 15-mile drive, which takes almost an hour. The train to Paris, covering 125 miles or so, was €16 per adult. The Paris metro, if you buy a multi-ticket, is only €2.50 per trip, covering about 3 miles. For the train from Paris to Nice, covering around 600 miles, we managed to snag Ouigo tickets for only €44 per adult, which is incredible value for a 5 to 6 hour journey. The tram in Nice to our hotel, covering about 3 miles, was €1.90. All up, the 750 mile or 1,200 kilometer trip across 5 different vehicles cost €66.74 each, or just under $80 per adult. So the big question, would we do it again? And what were the highlights and lowlights? The highlight was genuinely seeing so much of France unfold before our very eyes. You just don't get that perspective flying. The speed and comfort of the TGV were also a big plus. The lowlight was the last couple of hours on the train that really seemed to drag. It's a long day, 13 hours plus end to end. So be prepared for that. Bring snacks, bring entertainment, and manage expectations. If you really want to see France from the historic northern beaches all the way to the glamorous south, then this journey comes highly recommended from us. It's an adventure, it's a marathon, but ultimately incredibly rewarding. Thanks so much for joining us on this incredible French adventure. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more family travel content, and let us know in the comments if you've done a similar trip or if you'd like to. Take care.